This is episode 103 of season 4 with me, Tiffany Hinton, and today we're talking about our stress management and our autonomic nervous system today on Cultivating Guts. Hello, it's Tiffany, and welcome back to Cultivating Guts, a podcast where we're discussing living life fully and finding peace and joy throughout our day, even as a busy mama. I'm so excited to be back with you guys this week. I've had a lot of fun over the last week. I've had a lot of gratitude for myself. And as many of you have seen, the website is rebuilt. The social media is up and coming. I've just actually messaged our branding photographer this morning to get her to come out to shoot new stuff for the new Evolved Cultivating Guts. So excited with the direction we're headed and the rebirth. I am wanting to share with you guys and have a conversation around stress management. We'll go into some ideas and some tools and things that I personally use to handle stress as somebody who, works a day job in a super stressful corporate environment, along with having kids that are in multiple activities and everything else that goes along with that, along with talking a little bit about the autonomic nervous system and our ATP triangle within our body. So we'll dive into a tiny bit of science. If you are watching the podcast on YouTube, hello, you're in video or I'm in video. And if you're on Spotify, hello as well. And if you're on any other platform, welcome to Cultivating Guts. I would love for you to subscribe so that you get notified anytime a new episode drops. That would be amazing. And if you have any questions or comments, throw those over in the YouTube comments and I will respond. I get notified there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. We're going to head into the show. I'm super grateful for all of our amazing listeners. Okay, guys, before I jump into the show, I do want to do a little shameless self-promoting for just a second because this is going to come out and our 5-day challenge is still open when podcast is coming out. So if you're listening to this and you're wanting in on the 5-day challenge, or you're like, what is the 5-day challenge? I haven't even heard about this. Let me explain. So I am doing a 5-day challenge the week of Thanksgiving break. 5-day challenge to help us challenge ourselves to stay in joy and happiness and peace and to stay out of the stress response. Now, I know we are not going to stay 100% out of stress response. I get that, but I'm going to give you tools every day how to reset your stress response, right? How to bring your body out of fight or flight when you're in those moments where you're just like, oh my goodness, if these kids don't stop, or you are, whatever's happening. Because I understand holidays can be a bit too much sometimes, right? Doesn't matter what you celebrate. You've got kids off school, you've got a house, you've got maybe gifts or food or other things that have to happen. Maybe there's decorating. There's time with family and friends. And sometimes we don't always like the extended family and friends that we end up spending our holidays with. And then you're trying to fit in other things that happen. And it's just sometimes way too much on top of normal life. I get it. I've been there. And I don't want you to be the mom that breaks if I can help you. I don't want you to be hiding in the bathroom, crying because it's just too much and you can't handle it if I can help. So we're doing a 5-day challenge, not to add extra stress to you, but to help you have ways to cope, to help you have ways, many things, little things that maybe take 3 minutes or 1 minute or 5 minutes so that you next week, the week of Thanksgiving, have ways to deal with the extra stress. And so I have a 5-day challenge. It starts Monday, November 25th. You can still get in. What you're going to want to do is go over to Instagram, find any of our post type challenge in the comments. We're going to send you a link. I'll also put the link below this video here where you can sign up to join the challenge. A couple of ways we're supporting you throughout the challenge. So we're going to send out daily emails with a link to what is the tool of the day. How are we helping you? Is it a breathwork exercise? Is it a playlist on Spotify, which I have created a very special playlist that is tuned at 432 gigahertz on purpose frequency to help ground you back, to help you stay in that frequency of, hey, I'm good. I'm happy. I got this. Then we have like the shake break. I don't want to talk and disclose too much of that. The other thing we have going with the 5-day challenge is I've set up a Telegram group, a Telegram message chat. So if you're on Telegram, there's a link. You click it, you send over the word challenge. Again, it starts up the little robot that I've built. I'm so excited. I built a bot, not to brag, is going to then send you through Telegram. Here's the tool of the day. You go back into Telegram, you click, I've done it. And at the end of the week, for people that have finished everything, all 5, and you've clicked on Telegram letting me know that you've finished the 5 little tools and you've used them. Maybe you use 2 every day once you start day 2, or you find the 3rd day is better than the first day and you do that the rest of the week. You're going to get a prize. And so that's going to come out. If you're on the email list, you're going to get some bonuses. So some extra content there, some extra videos, some extra support. And so the 5-day challenge starts on the 25th. You've got time to enroll. Link is below in the comments. All right, we're not going to talk about that right now anymore. We're going to jump into the show, right? Stress response. So let's talk about the body when we feel stress. Think cavemen, right? And I think a lot of people talk about this, but when you were a caveman or your DNA was living in a caveman, and there was a saber-toothed tiger or there was a pterodactyl coming down and it was going to swoop down and grab you, you either had to fight or flee, right? And so they call it flight or fight. So you basically, that's how we consider it nowadays. But it was like, I'm going to run like hell and get away from this, or I am going to stand here and pull my sword and I'm going to fight to the death. And whatever, either one that you chose, we would get an extra adrenaline rush. Our bodies would give us this extra adrenaline rush. It would scoop up any immediate sugars that were available to convert to energy, right? Whatever energy store we had, to give us that boost so that we could survive. And then after that adrenaline rush, we would kind of have a crash. And when you go into that crash, your body still needs support. We need protein. We need long-acting carbs. We need rest. We need to kind of go back after the muscle fatigue and allow the recovery of the muscles to happen. Okay, let's jump ahead thousands of years. We're now in the modern environment. Somebody walks up to your desk at work and says, hey, I got a brand new issue. You got to come with me to the boss's office because this is huge and we're on fire. You're like, oh my God, my stress response is immediately like, ah, right? And again, that fight or flee, adrenaline swoops in, and yet we're not going to die. Well, at least most of us. If you're a fireman or you're a police officer and there is an immediate rush and something's on fire, okay, I get it. You might die. But for those of us that work in a corporate office, you're not going to walk into your boss's office and tell them about some huge problem and then die because you've been attacked in the office, right? It's not going to happen. But your body doesn't know that. And so your body flushes all this adrenaline into you. Your muscles tense up. You might get the shakes. You start sweating sweat in your armpits, which totally smells different than normal sweat. And you're like, all right, we got this. Let's go to the boss. Let's tell him the problem. And then afterward, in our modern world, there is no recovery time unless you intentionally take it. You're then like, okay, on to the next problem. Keep dealing with the meetings. Keep doing this. Okay, it's time to pick up the kids. I got to get in the van. I got to drive quickly. Okay, they're late for practice. We got to deal with traffic. And traffic creates another stress response, another fight or flight. It just keeps, and then the guy behind you honks. And you're like, oh my goodness, I can't take anymore. Like my body is so overwhelmed with all the adrenaline that was pumped into my system that I'm going to explode or I'm going to cry. I just can't do it. I just can't. And I know I get there. I'm sure you get there. And you're either, like I said, you're going to explode and you're going to yell at somebody or yell at one of your children or yell at your husband or kick the cat, right? Or you're going to end up bawling. And it's okay because your body needs the release. We got to find a way to get that out. And so if you do need to go in the gym and punch the punching bag, or you got a punching bag hanging in your garage like we do, or the basement, go release that extra chemical that is in your body. If you don't have that available, you can do Fist of Anger. And that video is over on YouTube on our channel. And you can tuck your thumbs and do this and do the breath work. Like you're just punching behind you, like kicking the stress out. That will help release that extra chemical that's sitting in our body. If all you can do is cry, do it. Let it out. Let it go. If you need to stomp, right? I once saw an energy worker and she said, go get a pillow and a baseball bat and go in your garage and just beat that pillow until that extra chemical that's built up in your body, that extra energy to fight is just dissipated. So there's several ways to cope and do that. But during the stress response in our modern world, it just keeps hitting us and it just keeps hitting us and it just keeps hitting us. And then that basically over time affects our health. It affects our immune system. It affects our nerve system. It affects our autonomic nervous system. And so we start having, I'll call them symptoms. We start having these physical reactions and physical ways that we just learn to live with life. And so we start breathing out of our chest, like shorter breaths, lighter breaths. We never actually breathe clear into our belly and take like the bigger breath. You may find that you take a breath in and you can't even hold it for 10 seconds, right? And one of the tools is that you start to work, whether you're laying in bed or sitting at your desk, on just holding your breath longer, like breathing deeper into your belly. Can you hold your breath for 40 seconds before you have to let it out, before you feel like you're going to like suffocate if you don't take another breath? Like, can you get to 40 seconds? Can you get to a minute? You can continue to work on breathing slower and longer. That's another way to like calm the nervous system. Okay, so you have these symptoms of shallow breathing, shorter breaths, not being able to hold your breath. We end up with the ATP cycle. So a lot of people talk about ATP. It's your adrenals, which sit right on top of your kidneys in your upper back, your thyroid, and your pituitary gland at the back of our skull, right? And so that adrenal to thyroid to pituitary is the ATP cycle. And I'm not going to get into the complete science of it, but basically, when something happens, you become stressed. The brain says, oh my God, I need to fight. I need to flee. I need extra energy right now. It sends a trigger to our adrenals, which then makes our thyroid do additional chemical imbalances. And so you end up having thyroid issues. You could be overreactive. You could be underreactive. You could have thyroid imbalance. You could be on thyroid medicine because we're just too stressed out. Our adrenals become overtaxed. And over time, the brains keep sending signals to the adrenals. Hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man. And the adrenals are like, God, I can't even get a second to like regenerate and I'm overtaxed. And now I'm in a shutdown because I can't do anymore. And your adrenals shut off. And then you have no energy, maybe. You have complete fatigue. You've got other chemical things happening with your body. Maybe you have muscle fatigue then at that point. You've got insomnia happening. You have no sleep rhythms happening. And you're like, not circadian synced. And so there's ways also, easy tools, right? Use a red light at night. Go out when the sun is setting and allow the red light, the orange light coming off the natural sun to hit your face, your chest, your upper body. You can get up and watch the sunrise. That also helps reset that. You have to rest your adrenals. You just have to. You have to give them a rest. Maybe that's a mental health day at work and you just don't go to the office. Maybe that's scheduling a babysitter so you yourself can go and just lay at the pool on a chair alone, right? Probably an adult pool in the area without kids running around in the summer. Maybe that's a trip to the sauna. For me personally, I have found if I do a weekly trip to the sauna, it's an awesome recovery for my adrenals, for my stress, for my nervous system. Can be the sauna. Pair it with a cold plunge or cold shower, right? That also helps the nervous system. And then the other thing that's really a great tool is the Kundalini yoga. They call it the yoga of awakening. We'll do a whole episode on Kundalini, but the breath work and the arm movements and the leg movements create a place in our body where we are intentionally expanding our ability to hold things longer, resetting our autonomic nervous system to not react as quickly to fight or flight, creating more peace in our lives by creating this expansion in our body's capability to take more. And I know that might sound interesting or crazy, but that's what we're doing. We're like you may do a breath work for 3 minutes straight, or you may do it for 5 minutes, or I have done the same breath work, the same finger position for 62 minutes on purpose. Because what it's starting to do, and if you go over to our website, cultivatingguts.com, I started to put some of this on the first page. It's resetting the DNA in our body. It's resetting our ability to stay at peace longer, to stay happy longer. Another way to quickly reset, right? If you're just like, oh my gosh, I got to release that energy, is just to shake your whole body everywhere for a minute straight and then long, deep breathe. Okay. And so it's interesting. I have had a neighbor that when the kids were little, whenever her kid was having a temper tantrum or whatever, and she was, trained in childhood teaching, all of this, she would actually say, shake it off. And in my brain, I always thought of, I think it's a Taylor Swift song, the Shake It Off song. But in reality, she already knew by having these toddlers and these 3 and 4-year-olds just shake that they would release the energy that was pent up, that was causing them to have an overreaction, right? Causing them the anxiety or the fear that they were feeling in the moment. And so you as an adult can do that, right? Oh my gosh, say you're at the Thanksgiving table and you've just had this whole ridiculous conversation about the recent politics and it's just too much, too much. Go in the bathroom, shake your body for a minute, right? You can also do tapping. If you can't physically, for whatever reason, shake because you have an injury or whatever, you can tap. You can take your fingers, preferably, I do like these first 3, you can do all 4, and you want to tap right here where your thyroid would be. And you just tap your body, right? And then you can do this. You can tap above your belly button on your belly. That'll start to help. Then you can tap your forehead. You can tap above your lip. You can tap below your lip. You can tap back here. And you can just continue this pattern. Some people will even say tap the top of your head until you've kind of reset your body. So that's another tool. I'm giving you all kinds of tools today on the podcast, ways to get the stress out. Another easy one, take your shoes and socks off, go walk outside. The colder it is outside, faster you're going to reset your nervous system. So go walk outside, walk in the snow, walk on the cold grass, walk outside, ground yourself. If you live by the ocean, go stand in the water, allow the salt water and the minerals to come into your body. Visualize all of that stress draining out and flowing out with the waves, and watch new energy come in and then the old energy go out. All of these things are huge and they help. The other thing I just recorded, which is going to be part of our 5-day challenge, I recorded a whole video on how to smudge your house and how to use herbs to clear the energy or the toxins or even the viral that's floating around your house. And so anytime we have a lot of company or we host people and then they leave, I clean up the house, I sweep the floors, I put stuff away. I even throw some stuff away sometimes. And then I sage and I smudge, right, with white sage on purpose to kind of just clear out, open the door, open the front and the back door, let all of that out. Say whatever words of affirmation you want or intention to clear the energy, say a prayer, get it out, right? And then there's some other cool stuff like that you can do. You can do the cold shower if you need to, right? Or if you are just feeling like, oh my gosh, I just want to cry. I need to be held. Go get in the bathtub, turn up the hot water, and let the water hold you like it was hugging you. And allow the universe and God to just give you a hug through the warm water and allow your body to recover and just relax. And long, deep breathe. Close your eyes. Just long, deep breathe. Okay. Oh my goodness. I just gave you a ton of information, but I want you to have those tools because we are coming into what I think is one of the most stressful couple months that we have in the US. I personally believe going into Thanksgiving through Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, and until the kids go back to school in January, it is the most stressful time we face. I mean, we just came off of an election. No matter what the election is in November, whether it's your mayor or it's the president, there's always an election in November. And then we just move into like this year-end stress. And I want you to have tools that you can use, even if you got a minute or you got 3 minutes or you got 30 minutes and you can do a longer sequence, but things you can do to help you survive. But not just survive, right? Surviving is great. But how do we find safety, security, happiness, joy, grounding, peace so that we're not just surviving, but we're feeling amazing and we're enjoying this time of year. One of the things when I looked at the evolution of cultivating guts and I started to meditate on where are we headed? What are we doing? I want other moms to have the moment to actually live life through their kids' eyes, to see the moments happen. Just to be able to be like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing it. I'm not so stressed that I'm just on to the next thing, but I'm sitting here and I'm watching their eyes full of magic and delight. And I'm feeling the emotion in my heart, watching my children experience this experience. Whether it's the experience of holiday lights or watching the snow fall through the window or the experience of, hanging out with mom and making cookies or watching your favorite holiday movie and eating a bowl of popcorn together. Like, stay there. Stay in those moments. Don't be thinking about the 500 things that are going to happen tomorrow. Just stay in the moments. And I want to give you the tools to do that. So we've got some big stuff coming out that I'm going to release probably starting on Thanksgiving. I'll set it up so it'll come out as email. But I want you to have what you need so that you can feel joy and you can feel grounded. So the first thing I would say is go sign up for our 5-day grounding challenge. Get these tools, get these videos that you can watch on your phone, get the guided journeys, the Spotify playlist that I created that you could just play in your earbuds or you can turn it on your speaker at home, your Bluetooth, and just cook and do what you need to do while the music's in the background. Listen to it at work. It'll help you. I promise. It will help you. What I am finding is my office where I work, when I work from home, where I do my yoga, my meditation, where I create for you guys, where I love to just sit because it's full of peace. My kids come back here for the same reason. They feel an energetic difference in my office than they do necessarily in another part of our house because this space is just a space of healing. And I would love for you to have that as well in your own home. And so I encourage you to subscribe, follow, join our 5-day challenge, and watch for when I release the Holiday Stress Toolkit coming out shortly. And grab that for yourself. Grab that up. Get the extra bonuses that are going to come with it on the BFF day, our Black Friday day, right? Oh, it's going to be amazing, guys. I'm so excited that you're here with me, and I'm so excited to share tools that I've used for years with you. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Share with me your favorite part and share with me what tool really works for you. Did you find one or two of these that you're like, oh, they're just perfect? Or I already do them. Pop that in the comments. Do you have another stress management tool that you use to reset? Right? I know other people have their own go-to items. I'd love to learn more about those as well. So share those with us in the comments. And again, comment over on the YouTube video. You can go to youtube.com/Tiffany Hinton to find that there. And I'll drop the link as well on social, but comment on the YouTube video and I'll put the link there as well in Spotify. And then I'd love to just to learn from our community. I am here for you. I'm excited to see your benefits. Satnam, love you guys. If you love this episode, remember to share it with your friends and send it to anyone who may find this information inspiring or helpful during their own holiday season. To get my newest movement video on stabilizing your energy, you want to visit our website, cultivatingguts.com. Click the link, share your email address with us, and I will immediately send you the link to watch our energy stabilizer video. One of the newest things we've launched on YouTube is a movement series. So we have our podcast series and then we have a movement series. And in the movement series, I'm going to be uploading short meditations, kriyas, breath works, movement sequences you can do there's a frustration buster out there. You're going to get a radiance booster as well as part of the 5-day challenge. Those videos are going to start to become available and you're going to have go-to tools to add to your own toolkit as a busy mom just from our Cultivating Guts movement series on YouTube. So excited for that as well. And again, sign up for the 5-day challenge. It starts November 25th. You want to get in, subscribe to the email list for the 5-day challenge, but also go on Telegram, subscribe for the Telegram. You'll get those links as well so that you get daily reminders. You can click the button when you've completed the tool of the day, and you can then be in the drawing for our winner for who at the end of the 5-day challenge. And all those details you'll find over on our website as well. Or actually, you'll find more of those details on Instagram. So go over to I am Tiffany Hinton on Instagram, and you're going to find a lot of details on the 5-day challenge on Instagram. That's the best place to find those. And if you need help and ideas and stress toolkits for you as a busy mom, visit our website, cultivatingguts.com.